Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you how to do a really easy and fun project like knitting. For knitting, you'll need three things: your yarn, your needles, and a pair of sewing scissors. To begin your knitting, you first have to make a slip knot. To make a slip knot, you take the yarn and you wrap it around your fingers like this, so you make a loop, hold it over the yarn, and pull it through like that, leaving some space. Then you slide it onto your needle, which you will hold in your left hand. After that, you have to cast on more stitches. You cast on your desired amount of stitches to make whatever it is you're making the length you wanted. For this, I'm going to make 20 stitches. Now to cast on, you have to first hold it around your finger, twist it, slide it on as so. Now we're going to make the rest of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, I might have to loosen the yarn a little, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so the first stitch I'm going to show you is called the knit stitch, and this is the most traditional stitch, which almost every single kind of thing you make will call for this stitch. To do this, you hold one needle in your right hand and the needle with the thread in your left hand, unless you are left-handed, and then you can choose to switch however you want. To do this, it's very simple. First, you hold the needle and the thread in your right hand. Then you go in through the front, the first stitch as so. In, then you take it and you wrap it around. So you in, then over, then you pull it under and through, and then off. Then you repeat that. In, over, under, off. Okay, I'm gonna get this. In, over, under, off. It can be sometimes difficult to get the first row, so it takes time. In, over, under, off. Now you do that for the remainder of the row, and then once you get to the very last stitch, you can either do the knit stitch one more time, or you can just simply slide it off the left needle and onto the right needle. It really doesn't matter which one you'll do, it'll look the same. So now I'm going to finish this row, and then I will show you how to do another stitch I like called the purl stitch. So as you can see, I've finished my row of knit stitch, and I've done just another one so that there's a little more length. Now the next stitch I'm going to show you is called the purl stitch. You might be familiar with the phrase knit 1, purl 2. That stitch is commonly used for the rib stitch, which can be used to make things like hats or socks. It gives it a bit of a stretch that is good for putting things on. So now to do the purl stitch, you hold the needle the same way, but instead of going under like that, going through forward, you go through backwards like that, but it's the same exact thing. So you go in, over, under, then off, and then you do it again. In, over, under, and off. In, over, under, off. There are lots of different things that you can knit. You can make sweaters, scarves, hats, mittens, booties for babies, gloves, and even pot holders. All these different things have different patterns that you can find online or in books, or even sometimes on the backs of the wrappers that they use to hold the yarn together. Now, I'm going to finish this stitch, and then I'll show you how to do the knit stitch that rib stitch that I talked about. Go. So now that I've finished my row of purl stitch, I will do rib stitch. Rib stitch is very easy. It's knit 1, so you do the knit pattern, knit 1, and then instead of knitting another one, you purl 2 of them. So in, over, under, out. And you just keep doing that. Knit 1, then purl 2 of them. Then you knit 1 more, and you purl 2 of them. And then so on. So now that you've learned some basic stitches, you can make lots of things. And if you want to get more complicated, you can do different things, like in this scarf that I've been making, you can change the colors, or you can make all different types of scarves and hats. There's just so many out there, and so many more complicated stitches. And thank you for watching, and I hope you guys all learn how to knit.